for kind of research purposes. But if at any time, and this goes to anyone, if you feel that anyone wants a recording deleted, just let me know, and that will happen.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So Jamil, welcome. You can join us for a couple of times and then just get a feel for the place and then decide if you want to sign up. Damien is like you. He joined the program I think in January. Was it Damien?
Yeah.
Yep. And he's doing the 20 classes of 2 hours a week to build up 40 hours to get the classroom experience. In my bottom right-hand corner, there's a motley crew called Project Six, which I met in Sheffield. Yeah. And I did a 3-day intensive with them. And now they're doing the follow-up where they're taking recovery coaching back into their role that they're doing at Project Six. And what are the other organizations you're with?
Likewise.
Likewise. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. And yeah, so Jamil, just kind of relax into it, and you'll it's quite loosely run. There is a structure, and the structure will kind of become apparent around class number 19, just before 20. So
Okay.
hey Stan, do you agree with me there? Yeah. Swearing is acceptable here. I imagine if the word begins with F, I would see the C word's not very, it's not very acceptable here in the UK.
It's over here.
Oh, is it up in Sheffield? All right,
Definitely.
Of course.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. So who would like to build the container? Zoe did it last week. Stan, why don't you go?
I've just had a tooth out, so my mouth's all like jelly. But my name's Stan, and I'm going to check in as a sore mouth. The sun's out, so I'm feeling good, and I'm ready and willing and able to continue. And I'll pass it over to my left, lovely Sonia.
Hi, I'm Sonia.
Hello, Sonia. I saw your TikToks.
Did you? Yeah, checking in, feeling a lot better than I have been doing. Yeah, I'm on the up. I'm ready to go.
Thank you, Sonia.
And oh, do I pass it on? I'll pass it on to Chris.
Hiya, I'm Chris. I'm feeling thankful. I've got my independence back to a certain extent, and I can fit my dad's wheelchair in car, so I can take him out, which is good. I'll pass it on to Dom.
Dom checking in. Feeling quite relaxed today. Few things were bothering me last week and they're not bothering me anymore. So I'm good. Pass it on to Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim doing a check-in, and yes, I'm feeling a bit more upbeat than I've been over the last couple of weeks, and bits are slowly sinking into my senile brain, but they are sinking in, and I'll now pass it on to the other senile one, Nick.
Yeah, good morning everyone, it's lovely to see you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to today. I'm feeling quite positive. I'm looking forward to doing a bit of work and some learning. Thank you. Is that? Oh, Zoe.
Hiya, Zoe checking in. Feeling really good today. Sun's out in Sheffield. Feeling lots of gratitude for things that I've got going on in my life, and just taking a real positive outlook on today. Thank you. Pass it on to Alex.
Yeah, good morning. Alex checking in as always the same when I'm starting this, that low level sort of like anxiety, because it's like a new container. It's always the same, it's never different. And it's absolutely fine, it's expected. I think I'd be concerned. I think it shows that there's sort of like potential for like vulnerabilities that I might be speaking about later and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely there. But other than that, like it feels the container feels lighter than it has done, I think. Yeah. That's it. Checking out.
Who you tagging, Alex?
I'll tag Damien.
Hi, morning everyone. I'm Damien and I am checking in a bit like Alex. I'm actually really excited to be here this morning, but I've also got this low level anxiety, which I think is because I haven't done any work this week. But I'm quite relieved to be here. I've been feeling quite overwhelmed the last few days. There's some family stuff going on and it slightly derailed me. And so it's nice actually to see all your faces and be part of this morning rather than be part of that. So here we go. And I'll tag Jamie.
It's Jamil, I think.
Oh, is it? Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, Jamal.
Oh,
Jamal.
sorry, I can't see the L in the name.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Trust me, it happens all the time. Thanks, Damien, for tagging me in. It's Jamal checking in here, and I feel grateful, thankful to be here, to be included in this session today, and I feel optimistic. I have a lot of choices to make in life generally at the moment. So yeah, I'm in an optimistic mood today. And so I can't see names on screens or anything. Should I tag anyone in?
Yeah, okay, so Jamal tags Liam.
Oh,
Hello, everyone. Let's see. How am I? I've got a world of emotions running through me for a variety of things. I'm still in Amsterdam. Um, my girlfriend's mother passed away on Friday, and so been assisting her and her family with working in all the preparations for the funeral, which is Thursday. And so lots of emotions around the aspect of death and dying and old age and not old age. And so feeling a bit subdued this morning for some of that. And then just a couple of challenges between my girlfriend and I that's kind of compiled things a little bit. So navigating those wonderfully well, just they have an impact, you know, as relationships go. And so yeah, I think for the most part, feeling a little subdued. I will tag
me.
Okay, I'll tag David.
Right.
You're so anxious, David.
Eh?
You're so anxious.
You're anxious.
No, you're anxious to go.
Oh yeah, well, I'm the only one left as well, so I wanted to kind of jump in and
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, and support you. So I'm checking in like Alex. I always have a low level anxiety of thinking, oh fuck, how's this gonna turn out? I want it to be a good experience for Jamal. I want him to feel welcomed and a part of. Liam, when you checked in around the death and the loss, it's like, oh fuck, okay, so that's come into the container. There's some big feelings here. I could tell when you were checking in, your voice was a bit kind of quivery, which kind of
Yeah,
just
yeah.
made me think, oh, okay, so I wonder where we're going today. Yeah, I think is this the fourth one for Project 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you'll have six more as part of your kind of certification. And where you guys should have a good understanding now is the coaching conversation, checking contract, building the container, and then also the agenda and accountability. Yep. So before we go and explore today's agenda, was there any kind of accountability or homework that was set last week? And Jamal, the reason that we say that is that the coaching conversation is always wants to forward the action and deepen the learning. So we're trying to support our clients in moving forward, whatever moving forward looks like for them. Yep. And essentially we're in the addiction recovery space. So what's the next step for the person? Yeah. So Project 6, was there any accountability from last week?
Yeah,
Yes, Nick.
yeah, Freddie and I were tasked with creating a volunteers newsletter.
Oh, how did that go?
We found that we got the text very quickly and very easily. What we had to iron out was making it a document that was accessible to everybody, to people with educational differences. So we've worked out the correct font to use. We're not using an all-white background. We've had to change that to an off-white so it's suitable for people with learning difficulties. And we've basically got a template ready to go now. So we're hoping that in the next week, it will be a document that's ready to be produced and disseminated to those that wish to see it.
Fuck, I love these containers. It's so synchronistic because Jamal's come on here, and the first thing he said was like, his eyesight's been impacted by his drinking, and now you're talking about a newsletter and having some consciousness around making it available to everyone to receive the news. Personally, the way that I react to that is, wow, that feels really caring and inclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the plan. I mean, it's not something that's within my kind of knowledge sack, but talking to other people is a thing to do. We've talked to a lot of different people, people that deal with different areas of our service, and we found that a lot of people there do have those problems, and it's made me very much aware that I've got to think carefully about. I could just write something and expect people to read it in normal text on a normal white background, but it's pointless if it's not there for everybody. So it's just the first step, really. I think maybe making it an audio medium as well as a visual one will be the next step, so that it's available to anybody. People perhaps with real sight problems. So yeah, it's just opened up a whole sort of set of new horizons, and the potential for it seems to be pretty much endless.
So what value are you honoring in your organization when you bring this sort of consciousness to it?
It's got to be available to everybody. Recovery is for everybody.
Okay, so it's inclusiveness.
All the way, yeah.
And the diversity of it, just like addiction can fucking impact everyone, so recovery should be accessible to everyone.
Well, the thing is about a lot of people with learning differences is that it's not visible, and they're not necessarily feeling comfortable or confident enough to actually tell people. So I'd like to make it so they don't have to until they're ready, but they can still get the information that we wish to impart to them. And it's as easy as it can be for them to know what's going on.
Yeah, and I relate to that because I mean I'm dyslexic, and I've found all sorts of trickery and masking to get over that, to survive that stuff. So it pleases me. Yeah. The other thing is this training is done in English, and a lot of our population, English isn't the first language. Yeah. So with the spirit of Ubuntu, so Jamal, just in case you didn't know this work comes from South Africa, where there are 11 different languages, and English is the fourth spoken language. Yeah. So essentially it's Zulu, Xhosa, Afrikaans, and then English. And so the trainings had to be adapted and cater for to have that in mind as well. Yeah, because the one thing with alcoholism and addiction is it doesn't discriminate around that either. You know, it'll take anyone. Yep, and the families that get impacted by it as well. Yeah. Okay. Any other accountability? And I must admit that's a great start, Nick. Well done. So if people are sitting there thinking, "Oh fuck, I didn't know what homework we meant to do. We forgot." You've certainly done well for the team there. Damien?
I was looking, I didn't have any homework last week.
Okay.
My intention was to crack on with the course, but I'm afraid I haven't got any further this week.
Yeah, okay. All right. Cool. Liam.
I ditto Damien.
You ditto Damien. Okay, cool.
My intention
right.
was, but I didn't really have any commitment to do anything. But mostly because this week has been really a focus on supporting Corinna and her family and doing a bunch of things so they didn't have to do them while they were. So yeah.
All right. So yeah. So Jamal, just so you know, the first hour will be in this group. Yep. And in the second hour, it'll just be me, you, Damien, and Liam. The Project 6 team will go off and break up into their little practice groups and practice coaching. Yeah.
David,
Yes.
we've been doing that as a group, you know.
Oh, okay, great.
Is that, have you got any, is that okay? Yeah,
You tell me.
well, yeah, we just created a group coaching space, really.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I think that's fantastic. The point is that you're spending an hour talking and thinking about coaching, and whether that's one-on-one or in triads or as a group, I'm personally not attached to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about giving people agency as well and trusting. Okay. So where should we take the container? I mean, I've got to be honest. There's my own kind of curiosity, and just because it's kind of come up is I'd love to get curious with you, Jamil, around learning environments and building on what Nick has spoken about bringing some consciousness to the newsletter. But that's my own curiosity, and you know, you've just arrived here, so the last thing I want to do is put you under pressure, but I really want you to feel inclusive and a part of, because would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization?
Yeah, sure. So I started drinking quite young, became dependent, and I think that was probably after about 12 years of drinking. I was drinking for about 14 years. Got a functioning alcoholic, got to a point where I become was dependent, so I was less functioning. um, and tried to go cold turkey, which led to, of course, the delirium tremens. I had loads of seizures one night. Woke up in hospital, couldn't see anything. So my optic nerve damage, what's it called? Alcohol amblyopia or toxic amblyopia. So I just see blurred. My central vision is completely blurred. So I've done rehab. That didn't work, relapsed. And that situation where I had the seizures, almost died, that is what changed everything. That scared me into recovery. And I didn't use any, AA or anything like that. Just the event scared me enough to just keep me off of the stuff. And I come across a homeless organization and a sightless organization as well, who I was beneficiary for both. And I had a good relationship with them. So once I was no longer a client for them, they offered me a position as a trustee for both organizations. So the homeless organization, we help with people with complex needs, alcohol and drugs and mental health. We provide them with accommodation, temporary accommodation. The sightless organization, we just help our clients with day-to-day stuff, where we create a community where they can, be a part of little events, help them with, signing forms, housing benefit forms, PIP, so on and so forth. And yeah, that's sort of where I'm at now, and I want to use my lived experience to help others. So that's why I'm here. And what I can't remember the name, the guy that was talking about the newsletter and stuff. Yeah. Um, there's so much people that have I think they call it hidden disabilities, or hidden mental health issues, where yeah, of course we don't like to talk about it. So it's good to see organizations like yourself taking initiative and thinking ahead of time for the silent, who don't feel confident enough to speak out about it. And um yeah, we appreciate stuff like that. So it's good of you.
Thank you, Jamal. I can feel in my heart. I got kind of like, I'm deeply moved. Yeah. It feels so kind of, for me, I just find it, very heartfelt. Yeah. That's what I'm feeling now. It's like, I just want to like, fuck, come on, let's make this happen. Let's bring you in. Let's come on, fuck, let's go. Nick, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's amazing to hear that. I mean, it didn't take Freddie and I a great deal of effort to find out about. I mean, Freddie's got good knowledge of that kind of stuff anyway, but finding out about how to make it easier for people that have got slight disadvantages in that area to be able to be part of the community and to see what everyone else sees. And it's just lovely to hear. And Jamal's such a well-spoken, erudite man. It's really nice to hear from him, and it's great that he's giving something back. And I really do feel a lot of admiration, especially after where you've come from. You know, we've all come from those dark places, and it's amazing to see us come through. And
And what are you feeling in your body, Nick?
yeah, it brings a welling. You feel a tear come to your eye.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So it's a positive impact.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Okay. Great. All right. So Jamal, are you okay if we explore this a bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the most important thing out of the first coaching conversation is for the client to come back for a second session. Yeah. So when you meet someone, you're trying to build rapport. Yeah. And you're really just trying to listen to what the person wants. Yeah. And yeah, so let's explore that. And one of the first roles of coaching is going into the peer support. Yep. So I used to be a drinker. Yep. I'm dyslexic. I know what it's like to fill out a form and struggle with it. I know what it's like to feel embarrassed to ask for help or not wanting to impose things like that. And then we can go and signpost someone and literally just kind of take them by the hand and point them to various areas. Yep. When someone's got a bit more agency in their recovery, like yourself now, yeah, you wouldn't be offered a trustee position if you weren't pretty kind of stable and people can see. Then it's using coaching to help you in your various roles and the life that you want to live. Yeah. So how is the container doing in onboarding you, Jamal?
Sorry, can you just elaborate exactly what you mean by container? I think I'm kind of getting it, but just
Thank you
yeah.
so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so the first thing I want to kind of acknowledge what we've done well is Jamal has basically said, "What the fuck are you talking about? What's this container shit?" Yeah, and I can get caught up in lingo. Yep. And how many times do our clients get caught up in lingo, abbreviations, things like that, different service offerings and products? Okay, so thank you for saying that. A container is something that you put something in. And we call this the classroom a container. And what we're putting in this container is knowledge. And the knowledge is around recovery coaching. So we do that by checking in, building the container. So we build the classroom, we go around and see where everyone's at. Yeah. Then we see, has the container moved forward in are people learning things? So what was your homework? Now we're trying to look at what the agenda is that we're going to talk about today. Yeah. So the container essentially is the team, the group, whatever. Yep. And I want to know how we're doing in welcoming you to the container.
Okay.
Have I explained it a bit better now?
Yeah, I think I understand.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you see he's smiling? Yeah. So that's a good thing as well to look at body language. All right. So Liam, how are we doing with you and your grief? Because when you checked in, you could hear in your voice it was like, oh fuck, something's going on. And then you brought the
Wow, that's a great
story of
question.
yeah.
Yes, that's a great question. What I'm experiencing, grief isn't the largest portion of what I am experiencing with this process of witnessing, number one, witnessing the passing of somebody, and then number two, witnessing a family navigate that passing. And my emotions seem to revolve around not wanting people to suffer. And so I get most activated emotionally when I am seeing Corinna and her sister. They had a beautiful phone call yesterday, and both of them were, for the first time, I think, letting it out. They've had to contain themselves for the last 4 days pretty significantly. And the other aspect is that it's very expensive here in the Netherlands to pay for a funeral director to do all the work. So they're doing the work themselves, including holding their mother's body at her home, So which we've had to go to every day. So it's on a cooling chest, some a special table that keeps she's in a wicker coffin. And yeah, so that's been a very interesting process. They did all of the body preparation, cleaning it and everything. So watching this process and watching the hurt, the emotions of other people is really where I've been impacted the most. I view life as a continuum, so I don't have a context around death being permanent. And I have, and it's my life view is mostly around that life is happening and death is a part of all that is happening, such as birth. And so there's this continuum of, so I don't have grief per se around that, but certainly it's difficult for me to watch other people suffer, other people who are in emotional distress at certain times, and this is one of those times. So I'm left with that. And this morning I woke up feeling quite heavy with all of those feelings, the feelings of the family, and feeling like I've been kind of holding that space for like kind of holding, okay, everybody, I'll kind of help you contain your emotions. Similar to Joshua having to hold up Abraham's arms during the battle. I kind of felt like that's the way it's been for the last 4 days, and in a very significant support role. So perhaps I'm feeling a bit of my own emotional drain and my own capacity to go at length with this sort of thing, if that makes sense. In the old days, I probably would have been finding some way to not feel everything I'm feeling, but I'm good with that. I just feel that heaviness on it.
Okay. So you're going through this kind of process, witnessing people that you care about going through the pain of losing their mother.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about the cultural norm, of kind of having the body in the house in a wicker coffin, and that, when you say that to me, it's straight away, it's like, oh, that's a bit strange, or it's like that's the first thing. And then I've got to kind of get over that and then get curious around what the kind of the cultural norm or process is around that.
Yeah.
I did not know that about kind of Dutch custom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, the UK, you can do it in the UK as well, and the US. You can do the whole process yourself. You don't need to hire a funeral director or anything like that. Very, very few people I know do it in the UK, would do it even, and nobody in the US that I know would ever consider it. So, and Corinna is a beautiful soul in terms of how she is. I've actually never seen anybody. You'll have to forgive me if I get a little emotional with this. I don't think in my life has ever seen anybody step towards death the way she has stepped towards it, in embracing it in its fullness and singing to her mother and attending to her all the way through the dying process, because I mean she had to be sedated after a bit, and so it was, once that occurred, there was no more drinking water, which was sustaining her for a while. So then it was about a 4-day period where you're literally just waiting, and so every day we're going to the hospital or to the hospice center and watching Corinna attend to her mother in this way with these beautiful songs she would sing to her, and we do a lot of chanting and mantra type things, and it gave me a whole new view on what's possible in supporting somebody in their transition from this physical life. And yeah, so I can feel it now. I'm getting a little a little tight, but yeah, so a lot of reflection. Yeah, definitely a lot of reflection this morning, and a lot of and you know, the funeral's in 2 days. It's on Thursday, and so we've still got some more work to do. And yeah.
You're holding a lot, huh?
Yeah, I feel like it.
Yeah, okay. And what would be helpful? How can the container help you with your holding?
I think you're doing it. I can feel the listening with everybody. So that's greatly appreciated, the kind of listening that I can feel occurring.
Great. All right. Will you let us know if we can do more?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Zoe, I just saw you tap your chest like that. Was that how are you doing there, love?
I'm fine. I was just checking in with somebody else in the room to make sure that they're all right. So that's
all right. Yeah. Okay. All right. And is that Sonia?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes.
Hello, Sonia. I can't see you, but I can feel you. How are you, love?
It's really brought a lot home, and it's touched me a lot. It's quite raw, my grief still, so
okay.
Yeah, it's really, I feel for him, really do. It's all.
Oh, Sonia, when you say that, it really just evokes stuff inside me as well. And I kind of want to crack jokes and be kind of loving towards you in a just a caring way. I think one of the things that we always need to remember as coaches, we're working with people that are well. So no matter how the story is, our response is well to it, or their response is well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and death is it's a part of life that when my nephew suicided a few years ago, I really realized how unwell people are at dealing with this sort of stuff. Yeah. And yeah. So what would support look like for you, Sonia?
Well, I had my brother. He were a great support, and I've got friends. Yeah, so this recovery side has given me a lot of support and help. So if I didn't have that, I don't know where it'd have gone.
All right. So is this class helpful today?
It is. It is helpful.
Okay, good. All right. So I know that was a yes/no question. So Jamal, you get two types of questions. You get questions that open that open up a conversation. So, like, what value is being supported now in this process? And then a yes no question shuts things down. Like, so, are you okay? Yeah. Yes, I am. Yeah. Do you want help? No, I don't. Leave me alone. Okay. Great. All right. So, what have we learned so far? So let's just come out of the deep emotional stuff for a second, and let's just kind of just capture some of the learnings that we're learning from today's container.
For me, it's how we show up for suffering, who we be when we suffer or this suffering happening around us. I felt when Liam shared, I really felt, I felt the spirit. It kind of tapped into my own sort of spirit. Like I could hear it in his words. Like I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure that that's a spiritual guy speaking. And I think you can feel that in how he shares. There's an openness. It's powerful. And throughout all that, kind of bringing up like my own fear of death because I'm not there yet. I do think about it a lot, and I think maybe we all do in some way. That there'll be a time that comes one day where, you know, in recovery we work on surrender and letting go, and there'll be a time that comes in all our lives where we're forced to let go. And that's the start. We'll be letting go. And it can be hard to like appreciate that will happen to us, but it will. And when Jamal shared about his experience with his eyesight, I kind of got that as well. It's just putting myself in his shoes, which is an impossible thing to do, but just trying. What that fear, you know, the fear of like that temporary blindness and like kind of how do you navigate that? Like, you know, the suffering's happening everywhere in the world and it's insurmountable. How do we show up? How do we keep showing up for that, keeping ourselves well, so we can focus on our like individual projects and as recovery and sobriety and that, whilst like carrying this burden of like immense suffering that's happening across the world.
Thanks, Alex. Who else would like to say something?
I think in the past I've often been for partners. They've used me as the rock when people have passed away, and I haven't really experienced it outside of my addiction. So I could be strong, but I was still using at the time, and it's making me think about, you know, my own parents and their advanced age and how I'm going to deal with that when that comes across.
Same.
All right. So the stories can trigger stuff for us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the best way that I feel that we kind of support someone in that is to remain authentic, to continuously be authentic. Yeah. For me, it kind of builds a sense of trust and safety. So, for example, when Liam said, "Well, the body's at home and it was like, oh fuck, that's a bit like oh," and just to kind of own that in a respectful way. And I hope I did that, Liam. I hope I came
Yes, you
across.
did. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay. Anyone else want to add anything, Chris?
almost I look up to Liam with how he's dealing with everything, and especially showing up today. I don't think I would have had the balls to be honest.
Okay, so that's a lovely championing statement. Liam, I look up to you. You're doing this with, yeah. How
Yeah,
does that feel that, Liam?
Well, uh, I always have a odd feeling or experience when somebody makes a statement like that, and thank you for acknowledging your acknowledgement, because I don't.
Compliment.
Yeah, I at the moment I don't feel like that. You know, I right up until well, I was late coming onto the call, which might indicate my excitement about getting on the call. I was really waffling between can I just maybe curl back up in bed and sleep for a little bit, which is kind of how I'm feeling, and yeah, so. But there was also a part of me that is the one that I listen to most frequently now, which is the one that encourages me to participate in the things that I'm participating in to the best extent possible that I can. And so it was the voice I listened to that said participate, and had me get on the call. So thank you for your acknowledgement.
What do you want to add?
nothing really. I think I personally would have been in shutdown mode trying to look after myself.
Yeah, no, I said Tim. I said
Oh,
Tim.
sorry, I didn't hear you say that. Liam, I feel a lot of empathy and sympathy for you. And I think there's no right or wrong way to grieve. You can do it whichever way you want, and it's not wrong. I think you're coping quite well, and I think the process of dealing with a funeral is almost designed to keep you busy, keep your mind off it a little bit. And I think the worst time will probably come after the funeral, and you're being a rock for your girlfriend and wife, and you've got to continue to be a rock. It's difficult, but you're doing well.
So Tim, what have you learned about coaching today?
I've listened, which
Listening.
is listening, and that's one thing I've taken from the whole course is listening to other people more.
Right. All right. So let's move to your left. That's you, Zoe.
I think that it shows how robust I hate the word container, so I'm not using it. I think it shows how robust this space is, that Liam feels safe enough to divulge everything that he has this morning, and that we can all just sit with him in those feelings and just be accepting of how he is. So I think that says a lot about this as our almost safe space, that we can do that.
Okay. So the robustness of the container, which is the word you don't want to use, but we were able to create it and hold the agenda and speak about two kind of very kind of unspoken about topics. Yep. Yep. One being um support around eyesight. I mean, straight away, my language, I'm trying to, it's kind of go, oh, fuck, what's the right language here? Da, 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 you know. Uh, and then the other thing is around death and grief. So the container, there's a robustness here. All right.
David, can I add a little something there?
No, you can't. Who do you think you are? Of course you
Zoe,
can.
that was beautiful what you said, and David, if you could address this as well, the openness, the safety that's in a container. Do you in your experience, do you sense that, particularly in group coaching, that there's a safe space that once it's created, every time the group gets back together again, there's a deepening of that safe space so long as it's not violated? that you don't have to rebuild the safe space every single group session. Does that make sense?
So the container building, yeah, with Project 6. The first time we met, Alex was downstairs in another room. They were sitting around a table. There was problems with the sound. Yep. The next week, Alex came into the room, and I think they were still sitting at the table. The third week, they were sitting in this kind of configuration now.
Yeah.
And the container has definitely become more robust over time as we've built the container. Yep. And as you deal with a client, yep, and you move along a continuum, maybe at the first session they say, I want to do this, 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 and this. And then in the fourth session, they kind of go, oh, well, we're a lot deeper now. Maybe we'll do something else. So yes, the container does move, and the robustness is something that as coaches we need to maintain.
Okay.
And remember, we're in the process here. So we've got the theory and the practice, but then here we're in the process of it. And my sense is a lot of people out there, they'll do the theory and the practice, but they don't actually work their own stuff. And then they're not very good out in the world. Yeah, I've come across lots of people that haven't done their own processing. And they become kind of dysfunctional therapists or social workers or coaches, or especially coaches that go off and do a weekend online course via PowerPoint. Yeah, they just go through the theory, but they pay $50 or something, and then they get a certificate, and then they go out into the world, and they're really unconsciously incompetent. Stan, let's hear from you.
Just to reiterate what you said about the space or the container. This room, when we walk into this room, I feel that people we sit down and join, and the containers become really robust and comfortable. I think that's a better word. It's comfortable now. It feels. The definition for me of a container now is a safe space where we can be authentic and be ourselves. And to Liam and Jamil, sorry, I'm full of admiration. I mean, the fact that there's so much going on, and they just want to be there for other people. They just want to be there to help people and to help people through difficult times speaks volumes about their personality. And I'm full of admiration for them, and well done everybody here. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Stan? Okay, so I think we've heard everyone's voice in Project 6. Damien, would you like to add something? And then we'll say goodbye to the Project 6 people and take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a really rewarding session. And I thought as Liam was speaking, which was very moving, as everyone else has said, and I really admire Liam's kind of presence of mind and spirit through what he's experiencing. I really admire the way you're very alive to what you're experiencing, and it feels like you're very present to it. But what was coming up for me was thinking, who's supporting Liam? And Liam is providing exemplary service to, you know, his partner and his in-laws, and providing this wonderful support. And it occurred to me that as you were processing it with us, that there's a lot of emotion for you, but you may be feeling like you're not the main character in this play. You know, you're not one of the main parts. You're not a speaking part. And so I was thinking I was really pleased that you came this morning. And when you said that the way we could support you was by the listening that you felt, I really felt like this was the value of this morning's container. And it didn't require action points and, all of this accountability, or it didn't require the container or us as coaches to move you forward in anything. But you clearly required some support today because necessarily you're not asking for it from the people that you're with right now. So I'm really pleased that you came and brought what you did and that we were all together this morning.
Thanks, Damien. That's beautiful.
I think sometimes what we need is just someone to listen to when we're going through grief. Just having someone to listen to is so powerful, because a lot of times we don't really feel like we're being listened to, do we? So yeah, listening is really strong, I think. So yeah, it's good.
Miles right in there with his wisdom, man. Fucking fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everyone. Shall we say goodbye to the Project 6 people? How are you guys checking out? We'll start with you, Sonia. How are you checking out, love?
Checking out, feeling a lot better, and I hope everything goes well for Liam. And it was nice to meet you, Jamil and Damien.
Nice to meet you guys.
And yeah, hope to see you again.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Stan?
I'm checking out, feeling, I don't know, I really enjoyed this. I've had a tooth out and the anaesthetic's wearing off and I'm starting to feel a bit of pain, to be honest. It's starting to hurt now. But I feel blessed to have been in this container today, and I feel it's been a privilege to listen to people.
It's sacred, huh?
Yeah.
Dom?
I'm checking out, feeling a little bit emotional, but I've seen a lot of value in today, and it's given me a lot to reflect on.
Zoe?
I just feel really mindful of what's been said today, and just like, thank you, Liam, for feeling that you could share that with us. Thank you to Jamil for your first time here with us all today. And yeah, I've really, really enjoyed this session. So thanks to everyone.
Tim?
Thank you. Yes, I feel optimistic. I've got a lot out of this. And thanks, Leah, for sharing. That was great of you. And welcome, Jamil. Thank you.
Yes?
Slightly emotional, really, especially with how deep Liam went into it. And you could physically see and feel his emotions. So thank you for sharing so well.
Nick?
Yeah, I'd echo what everyone said about where Liam is, and thanks very much for that. It was really emotional. It was lovely to see Jamal. I feel like I've got a lot to learn from him, and it's great. It's exciting in a way, somebody new. So I hope we see you again, Jamal. Thank you very much.
I've got to add the synchronicity of the newsletter that you created, and just the learning there was just magical. Alex?
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Cool.
Check out as very grateful, very blessed, and yeah, just nice to sort of like hear those like little openings of wisdom that started to come, and emotion, maybe emotion that we're not expressing, but emotion nonetheless. So thank you.
And did you want any homework as a group?
No.
No. All right, there's your homework. No homework. There's your homework. All right, we'll see you all next week. Sort yourselves out. Make sure you do your hour now, however that looks. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Jamil, Damien, and Lee will take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. That's better. It's always so difficult with one small screen with so many people in. Okay, great. I'll see you all in 5. Jamal, you came back. Wonderful.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
How are you finding it so far? Is it what you expected?
Um, kind of, I guess. I didn't really know what to expect, so I was just so the project 6, is it?
Yeah, Project
Okay.
6 is they're called a LERO, a Lived Experience Recovery Organization up in Sheffield.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're mainly volunteers. The people have got lived experience that have done the training to
Yeah.
take their lived experience and to show up in a professional role, which is recovery coaching, which is what we're doing.
Oh, okay. So different from whereas I guess I'm doing it individually, they're a part of an
Yeah.
organization. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah. I'm
oh
working with the organizer, but the theory's still the same.
yeah.
And I just deliver the first 20 hours over a 3-day period, and then the next 20 hours is over a 10-week period.
Okay.
So they make a total of 40 hours,
Okay.
which is a certification requirement. And you, Damien, and Liam, if you sign up, are doing the 20 weeks of 2 hours on a Tuesday, which is just under 6 months, 5 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you learn the theory and the practice and the process of recovery coaching. And Damien must be coming up to about 9 weeks, 10 weeks, Damien. We'll see when he comes back, but
So can I can hop on any time, or is there a particular start date
so
that
so so if you are going to sign up for this, we're here on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock. I think this would be the best stream for you. And if you want to take it into your organization and develop a lived experienced organization, you can come on a Thursday afternoon where there are people working in specific organizations.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I would start here.
Yeah, I think I don't at the moment I wouldn't be able to do 2 days. I think the one day a week, Tuesday is perfect for me actually as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it would be perfect for me. So okay, so that's 20 weeks and 2 hours. 2 hours. And that's all right. That's 5 months. Do you say 5 months? About 5 months.
Yeah, yeah, it's about that. But I mean, like, so there might be a Tuesday that you miss here and there, or you know.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, hopefully you'll keep coming on a Tuesday
yeah,
and to continue learning, but to get the basics to meet the certification requirements to become a practicing recovery coach is because then you can go and start your practice. And then each day you go to work and you practice like a doctor practices medicine or an artist practices art or a lawyer has his practice, a
yeah,
legal practice.
yeah.
Yep,
Mm.
you'll have a coaching practice.
Yeah, that's the aim. That's the,
Specializing in recovery
yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal.
and potentially with people with visual challenges. Is that what you say? What's the politically correct
Uh, visual impair
terminology?
visual impairment and blind, those two, or
Yeah.
partially sighted, is the terms for it, the PC terms for it. Yeah, so I mean, you don't really hear of much people that come out and I guess could say admit that their drinking has caused them to have sight loss issues. A lot of people suffer in silence with that.
Yeah.
But they just don't. Some people don't even go to the hospital to get the treatment or the care for it.
Mm.
So I aim to help those as well who suffer.
Lots of people suffering in stigma and secrecy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
shocking actually. I always thought that, you know, if you're going through things, go and seek the help.
Mm.
It's out there. If it's out there, go and seek it. Put the shame aside and you know, get yourself better. Is my motto.
So that's where you'd be a huge advocate for this.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And I thought it was really nice that I'm going to start your video again, Liam.
Oh, I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah, I just I saw you and your partner
Oh, I thought I had my video paused.
having a bit of an intimate moment
Oh,
there. So
I'm sorry, thank you.
I thought, out of respect, let me just switch off the video.
I thought I had my video turned off. I
Yeah,
apologize for that.
that's what I thought might have happened. So
Yeah.
I made an executive call and switched off your video.
Thank you. Thank you. But now you can see I've got a background in place.
Now you're in the Netherlands proper.
No, this is actually my view out of my flat in the UK.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Damien, would you like to build the container?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Session 2. Very good. Just checking in, a little bit of logistics of my checking in. I was a bit late back to the room, the container, and I'm a little bit distracted. I've got some pots boiling on the oven over there on the stove because I realized I've got people coming for lunch, arriving almost as soon as this
To cook lunch then.
as this is over. Well, I decided I would cook a salad niçoise, but that means that the eggs and the beans and the potatoes need to have cooled, not only been cooked, but cooled down. So I'm going to be a little bit jumpy for the next sort of 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, what?
A salad niçoise.
Oh, very
It's a
posh.
salad. It has tuna, which I'm doing tuna steaks, so it is a posh one rather than a tin tuna, which is what I would normally use. So tuna, olives, green beans, and baby potatoes with lettuce and tomatoes. So anyway, that's my healthy lunch, and then we can go out for a very unhealthy dinner this evening. They're staying overnight. So anyway, so yes, I'm checking in as being a little bit distracted, I'm afraid, this next session. But yeah, so if you see me jumping around, that's what's going on. And but I enjoyed and got a lot out of the first session this morning, so I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, I'll tag Jamal.
Thanks, Liam. What am I bringing to content? Yeah, well, on our little break, I got a message from my son's mother saying that he's been misbehaving. So I know that I've got to sort that out later. But I'm again grateful to be here. It was a good first session. It was good listening to well, not so much listening, but just seeing how the empathy that people have in this community or the container. And again, still optimistic about the day we have ahead of us and the rest of the session as well. And I'll tag, is it Damien? No, Liam?
Liam, I've already been. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the names right.
Yeah.
Name's right, but it's the right. It's the right.
And,
I'm sorry,
and
I can't see the name.
Relax.
Jamal, it is pronounced Jamal, is that correct?
Yeah.
Not Jamil or Jamel or
Nah,
Jamal.
Just think
Okay.
of Ja and mile,
Yeah.
like a mile long.
Yeah, I noticed you changed your name to
No,
show
I changed
that.
it. I changed
Oh, you
it.
did. Oh, you did, David. Okay, Jamal. Okay. Welcome, Jamal. It's great
Thank
to have you here, and thank you for sharing your story because, wow, I resonate with that deeply in my own journey, and of making a decision that it was not going to be, this is the way my life wasn't going to go, so I really appreciate that you shared that. I think that resonates probably with a lot of people, but it certainly did with me. And Damon, then I'll get to how I'm feeling. Damon, your insights are so beautiful sometimes. Last week when you were talking about, the whole thing, oh, should I be a coach, not be a coach, and you had all this kind of this doubt moving around in your head and everything like that. When you do what you just did, there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to be an amazing coach for people. Just no doubt in my mind. And I really appreciate how you come full on with everything that you are when you come into these sessions. So really, really appreciate that. And, like I expressed earlier, just feeling the weight of supporting Corinna's family and making sure that the things that they would normally do for themselves, trying to get those done, and being a support for her as well, to make sure that she can do the things that she needs to do and focus on those. And so, yeah, feeling that weight this morning. And it was certainly, David, as I expressed earlier, that it feels like over these last 4 weeks that particularly since that first one, that the sense of safety in this container with everybody in it, including the arrangement in one room of 6 or 7 or 8 people, really allowed me to say what was really there for me without feeling like anything was going to be taken the wrong way, or that it really was a safe place, even considering that there was a new person who is just also experiencing her own grief, and knowing that that person felt safe in the space that's already been created. So, yeah. And David, again, for you, thank you. Your leadership and guidance is spot on for me, as we've been taking these. So being able to know that I could safely say what's so for me right now was there was no question in my mind that I could do that.
Oh, I check in. I'm in a good space. It feels like I'm proud of what we're creating here. Yeah. And I want to echo what Liam says about you, Damien. I loved when you brought in metaphor. When you brought in the metaphor of being the silent actor in the show. I thought that was a real spot on coaching tool to link left brain and right brain thinking.
Yeah.
So left brain thinking gives you the ability to see into the future, to make a decision in the present based on the past. It's very logical. Right brain thinking processes information. Yep, so I'm sitting here now, my mouth's a bit dry, feel a bit uncomfortable on my seat. I have a sense of anxiety because I want Jamil to be feeling included and all that sort of stuff. That's what right brain thinking does. A metaphor is a great tool to link left and right brain thinking. So when you brought in that metaphor of the actor that's an important part of the play but has no voice in his role, that really helped me understand what it's like for Liam in his situation. Yep, and that's a great way of linking embodiment, I guess, embodying and once you kind of own that, then the person can move forward. So it kind of connects head and heart, as opposed to kind of just being like cold and isolated with the logical side of things, or getting completely lost in the emotional side of things. It's a real kind of balancing. Yeah, it was a great balancing tool. And we must remember in coaching, we're in the place of wellness, and things like grief is a part of life. Yeah, that we have to get comfortable with, especially the older we get. I'm finding I'm facing grief more and more. Yeah, it's a bit of a fuck up actually, but still. And I've always got my joker in the background, ready to come in if things get uncomfortable. I'll jump in and crack a joke or something. Sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. But regardless of whether it's good or bad, it's very dangerous when I'm unconscious of it. So the safety part is that I know there's a joker in me that comes up when there's anxiety in the room. And the anxiety means that I'm thinking something dangerous might happen. So I then act out in a way. Cool, that was quite a check-in, huh? Fuck. Okay, so Damien, where are we taking the container now?
Good question. Good question. Well, yeah, I just actually just to respond. Thank you very much. I found myself I just got a bit tearful hearing the positive feedback, both first from Liam and then again getting tearful from David. And I think because I've been in I don't know if it's neurodiversity. I have never been diagnosed, but I go through periods of feeling like I can do anything and conquer the world and everything is going to work out okay. And then I have a corresponding period, usually shorter period of feeling completely overwhelmed and like I don't know what I'm doing and I'm terribly afraid and everything's wrong. And I've been in that space for the last few days. And so hearing the positive feedback was very moving to me. We kind of looked at my stuff last week, so I don't want this session to be about that again, but I'm still trying to work out how I move myself forward. Towards a destination. I don't know, but I don't want the session to be about that because we did me last week. So I don't know how we now move forward in this container. I mean, is there Jamal's just joined. That's been an interesting thing for me as well because I was the new guy 10 weeks ago, and so seeing how these coaching containers kind of work and
So let's go with that, Damien.
yeah.
Let's go so we'll go with the metaphor as well. So you've been on a journey for 10 weeks. You're sitting at a bench, yeah, and you look back and you see Jamal coming onto the path. What do you notice about yourself?
What do I notice about myself? I suppose the first thing is I notice that how much more, I suppose, comfortable I am within this container, within the unstructured structure of a recovery coaching container. I've now become more familiar with both the structured parts, the check-in, the contract, the agenda, the accountability, the checkout, so this kind of arc. I've become more familiar with it, so I feel more comfortable navigating through it. Perhaps also, yeah, the unstructured part is I suppose within that check-in process, what I've begun to notice is people bring content, and you don't know what that content's going to be. So this morning, Project 6 actually was clearly in a very happy and good place, and everyone was, yeah, full of the joys of being there. And they're obviously also, they're beginning to settle in their 4th week, and they've worked out their configuration. And Alex was saying, oh, it feels lighter, in the container. But actually, Liam had some different content to bring, and this has happened a few times, both in this container and another one I'm involved in on a Wednesday, which is a counselling course, where I'm often continually surprised that everyone else doesn't feel exactly the same way as I do in any given moment. So if I come bouncing into the room saying, "Isn't it wonderful? I've woken up feeling great today," I'm always surprised when someone comes in and says, "Actually, my son has just been expelled from university, and or I've lost my job, or my partner's parent has passed away." Like, it's always a surprise, and then that forms the content of the container, and that might not be what you were expecting when you come in. So is that having that kind of flexibility to go with what people bring, and that that's. But I've become more comfortable with that again, and so I was overhearing while I was boiling my pots, David, you asking Jamal, how it was for him, and was it what he was expecting, and he said, well, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I thought, yeah, I know that, I remember that. I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't quite sure what I had just experienced, and what it was it useful, like all of that. But I suppose, yeah. So I noticed that I've, where I've kind of got to, yeah.
You're learning, huh? You're coming a long way.
Maybe.
Okay. So Damien, when you look back now, and you see Jamal there, what could I do better in onboarding people?
A belly like that. Well, you can. I hate running. Oh, I don't run.
That's hard to answer, because not because I'm worried about offending you. Actually, I think it's hard to answer because there's a degree to which what is, and I feel like I've got to a place, as I say, where I'm beginning to kind of get it, and it's an experiential process. So I mean, I think I always felt, and I hope Jamal does too, I always felt very welcomed. I felt that I was offered an opportunity to introduce myself and all the rest, and Jamal was today as well, and that's an ongoing process, self-disclosure, throughout the process. So in that sense, and certainly, I suppose, if we're doing kind of a level 3 listening element here, as an existing member of this Tuesday morning group, I don't feel disrupted in any way, shape, or form by the appearance of someone new in the container. So in that sense, I think for the group, as it were, just group structure, it feels like Jamal is slotted in. It feels like he's been here forever. So that's, that feels nice. And so in that sense, I don't see any difference in terms of the onboarding. On the content side, I suppose an element of signposting, but of what's to come and what it's about. But I as I say, I think it's kind of probably an experiential process. And as you said before, when we're talking about the culture of addiction, when we're talking with clients who are in addiction or in some level of substance use or misuse, or even coming in their early stages of recovery, we're dealing with, what do you call it, crisis, chaos, and confusion. And in that sense, again, you don't know what people are going to bring. We don't know what the content's going to be. We don't know what we're going to end up looking at each week. That it's hard to have a kind of structured, right, it's week 3, therefore, client, we need to be looking at this now. That doesn't feel client-led, that feels teacher-led. And so, I don't know, I think maybe the answer is you're doing great, David.
Thank you for that. The challenge is that people, so first of all, very well articulated. The challenge is that if you take an axis, yeah, and the y-axis is structured and unstructured, and the x-axis, the y-axis is structured and unstructured, and the x-axis is known and unknown. Trainings that are up in the structured and known outcomes are not as effective. We're working at the opposite end of the scale, where it's very unstructured and unknown. And the reason for that is we want to create a robustness for people creating a container and just kind of going, okay, shit, what do we got to deal with now? We're working in crisis, chaos, and conflict. We cannot predict what's going to happen. So we're trying to create resilience in the coach to show up in that environment. Yeah. What we don't want to do is make it too traumatic for the individual that they feel completely overwhelmed and go, fuck, this is too much for me. Are your potatoes boiling?
I'm
Do you
about
need
to
to
put them
sort
in.
your vegetables out?
I'm going to put them in.
Okay. Liam, are you good to talk? Do you need to, are you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want you now. You're about 8 weeks down as well. Yes, 7
No,
weeks.
I'm 5 weeks. I missed 2. So
Yeah. Okay. But you've been with us for that long.
yeah.
You've missed 2. You'll catch them up at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What if you look at Jamil coming here? Yep.
Uh-huh.
What comes up for you? What advice or suggestions or how can you see how far you've come? Any feedback for me?
I think at the beginning I felt a little lost.
Yeah.
I felt like, and I think we actually talked about it in one of our sessions, was there's this piece, then there's this piece, then this piece, but I couldn't see how all the pieces went together. And so just navigating that. What I came out of that period was just be patient, it'll all sort itself out.
Okay.
And it did. In terms of the sessions themselves, I came into it very open as it is, mostly because of a fairly extensive background in doing Zooms and work and group coaching sessions as they were anyways. So I'm very comfortable with an open, unknown, unstructured environment. I've always, for years now, after I went to a session or to a weekend workshop, where the workshop leader said, "Well, I have a plan." This is the very first thing she said right out of the gate. "I have a plan, and then there's going to be what happens." And each session is definitely this is happening, and to be able to have an openness and flexibility and adaptability inside of it's maybe a good example or an analogy for life, that life is happening. So the sessions are happening, and to move in that moment with how the session is moving, it'll address what needs to be addressed at that time. So that part of the sessions part has been quite comfortable. Admittedly, like Damien said, that first one was, okay, I don't know what this is. But in the back of my mind, it was, but it'll sort itself out. So after the first one, I'll have an idea of what this is, which is exactly what happened for me. I don't think I would change anything because it feels like the chaos, conflict, that whole 3 C's dynamic, you have successfully, in my mind, wrapped the program around that. So that as coaches, we can see that that is always the case. That's what we're dealing with. And we have to be in a settled state with I'm okay in chaos, conflict, and what's the third one? I'm missing one.
Crisis, chaos, and conflict.
Crisis, chaos, and conflict. And so life doesn't give us a choice in what it presents to us sometimes. And so we're so that it feels like the program is either by design or not beautifully wrapped around those 3 C's.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so Jamal, what did as you kind of in your mind's eye see Damien and Liam down the road, what are you hearing as they kind of talk back to you?
What am I hearing? I'm hearing a little. Oh, can I put this? Early confusion at first, but
Yeah.
it sounds it's positive though. It's not like bad confusion. It's just in the beginning of things, and usually, the beginning of anything, there is going to be a little bit of confusion if you don't, because it's the being in the unknown. When you're in the unknown, it's going to be a bit confusing.
So
But
it's normalizing it.
yeah,
Great. Okay.
but it sounds like intrigue as
Okay.
well that it seems that they had at the beginning, which obviously, you stick at something, even if something seems a little bit, oh, what's going on here? Your intrigue will make you say, well, hold on a second, let's continue and see what happens here. And it seems like it's been well worth it, because they seem happy that they're here today. So very positive. And it's good actually. I'm happy that you've invited me. to this session so that I do have a look and get to speak to and hear what they have to say about it. I don't think there's a lot of courses that are giving you the opportunity to have a peek in before.
Right before you buy.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So
And
it's nice to have that
and
option or the
and
opportunity.
how has that impacted you?
Um, in a good way.
Yeah,
I like we all like transparency, don't we?
yeah.
If someone seems like they're trying to hurry up and buy type of thing, and no, you don't need to just pay for it, and then afterwards you can see. It's nice to have that option, the opportunity, the transparency. So it makes me confident. It makes me feel good.
Makes you feel safer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
you're not being hustled to fucking buy some shit you don't really want.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my experience with a lot of people is, particularly in the world of recovery, have been hustled a lot. Yep. And so my recommendation is that when you guys have your coaching practices, you start with a free chemistry session. So come and see me. Let's have a 30-minute chemistry session where we'll talk about coaching, what it is and what it isn't, and then we can decide if we're the right fit for each other. Yeah, and that makes things very safe for me personally. For me, what's great about it is to say, yeah, Jamal, come and see what it's like. If it's for you, then great. If not, then that's great too. Yep. And I think that's an important thing. The difficulty is when people get forced to come to you for coaching. So I'll have a mother that's heard about my life story and then goes, "You got to go and see David because you got to stop taking drugs." Yep. And I'll have a 18-year-old kid in front of me who kind of smokes dope and drinks and gets high, and which is kind of quite normal behavior for his age group. Yep. And when I sit down with him, I'll say, well, you haven't got a drug problem, you've got a mother problem. Yeah. And then when mum's paying you, and then you've got to tell the kid that he hasn't got a drug problem, he's got a mother problem, it can get complicated. So I don't really like to work with children because for me it's usually the parents that need to do some work around kind of letting go. Yeah.
Mm.
And that's my style, which I feel comfortable with when working with addiction, because my experience and my frame of reference is as soon as you tell someone that identifies as an addict not to do something, they fucking go off and do it anyway. Yeah. And there's a defiance in there. So I'm hoping that this approach has built trust and rapport with you. Yep. I know it got quite difficult for you, Damien, a few weeks ago. It was like, fuck, where's this going? What's going on? What's the fucking, can't see that. Do you remember that, Damien? How are you feeling now?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I want to reiterate that a few weeks ago, it was never for me about should I be in this process or, it's more, and it's still my problem. It's trying to visualize the destination.
Yeah.
And there's some of that is because I haven't experienced recovery coaching. I came into recovery through NA, through 12-step fellowship. And so that's my only experience of recovery. And so I don't know what a recovery coach is, as it were, when I came in. I was curious about it. And perhaps because even hearing Jamal today, I mean, the bit of self-centeredness in me was like, oh my God, here's another person doing amazing work in these charitable organizations. I feel this actually, I felt some envy. I felt this, like I do sometimes with the Project 6 people, and I'm like, fuck, I'm useless, like I'm not like, and so there's that bit of me that's still trying to slightly grasp, and some of that is my own limitations. Like I can't do this, or how do I build a practice, or how do I attach myself to an organization, or that, and I haven't quite worked that out. And so when I don't have a destination, or then I'm like, oh shit, is there any point in being on the journey? Do you see what I mean? Like it wasn't really about the structuredness or unstructuredness of the course. It's, for me, it's been the challenge that I've facing on and off is I don't know how I'm going to build my practice, and who's going to sign up for it, or what organizations are going to support me in it, or that kind of thing. And that's when I'm saying, like, maybe I need to do a bit of work around that, step by step, like have a bit of a plan. Maybe I just need to pick up the phone to some organizations, So that's my timer gone off for my eggs, so I'm going to bring you back over here.
That's fine. Thank you, Damien. I always appreciate your transparency here. It's so refreshing. It's so nice.
Yes, it's so refreshing.
And what's good about the containers, it's been able to hold you through that process as well, Damien.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right, lads. Yep. Are we okay to start the checkout? Yeah.
Can
So,
I make music? And when you have to.
Liam's got, I can see he's under pressure. He's like, yeah, I'm on the call, but I've got stuff to sort out. Do you want to sort that out, Liam? You want to check out with us? You want to address?
Yeah, I feel much better. It's amazing how in 2 hours you can go from feeling like on the floor to having feeling a little bit more expanded, and yeah. So Jamal, again, love to hear your story. You come across to me as somebody who is now, I don't know what the word for it is. There's something very articulate about you, and
it's a natural, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's just there's just something articulate about you, and Damon. I mean, both of you two. I get the same experience out of you, different dynamics, but there's this something that's telling me there. For you, Damon, especially, now 7 weeks into this, is there's so much that you're going to be able to bring. I really feel that, and so I'm just grateful to have you on, Jamal and Damon. It's always great. So I'm feeling very refreshed and rejuvenated. So I appreciate it. And on that note, I'm going to jump off because we got to run to the city hall and file some papers. Okay, take care.
Bye. Bye.
Take care. See you later.
Hey, Damien, would you like to go next?
Yeah. It's been another great session. Similarly, as I say, I've spent the last few days feeling very overwhelmed again by life, having a real dip. Yesterday I was very fearful, and I woke up this morning still a little bit in that space. and I'm checking out feeling a lot better. So this is doing something for me. And I think somehow in the last couple of weeks, also, David, you and I had a private chat last week, didn't we? And like, I think I'm beginning to see that destination that I want to get to. I'm beginning to have some optimism and hope around it. Yeah, I've got to work out how I get there. But I feel, I was saying this to someone the other day, it's similar with my counseling course that I do on a Wednesday. You know, I can often start the day feeling under-resourced, and by the end of the day, I feel filled up. And I have to take notice of that this feels aligned for me. These kinds of conversations, this kind of work feels very aligned for me. So, and then hearing people's positive feedback of what I bring to the container, you know, today, you know, makes me feel, yeah, like I'm heading in the right direction. I maybe I need to have a bit more faith in myself and in the process, and really try and make this happen. Yeah. So yeah, ending the day, checking out, feeling more powerful than I began. And welcome, Jamal. It's yeah, really great to hear you and to see you and have you with us.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jamal, would you like to check out?
Yes. Firstly, thanks for having me. And thank you, Damien, for being so open and all the kind words as well. Thank you very much. And I'd say I think we spoke on Saturday, didn't we?
Yeah.
David, yeah. So I've been really looking forward to this. I've been talking to my girlfriend about it as well. And
Good.
yeah, she texted me earlier as well. And I said, "Oh, I hope it goes well. Enjoy." And yeah, I have. It's been nice. It's been nice joining in the session. And what else can I say that I've taken from it? Positive, very positive, and I would say I'm definitely um, uh, curious. I'd use that word, curious and intrigued to see what the UACT, the UACT course has to offer. Yeah, so I'll check out. I'll check out that.
Wonderful.
Is that a good enough checkout? So it's my first checkout, so I don't.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. All right, everyone. I check out with a lot of pride. It's lovely having you here, Jamal. I really like the way Project Six as well really got to experience the importance of, you know, editing their newsletter. It was like, oh fuck. Okay, this is important. And Damien, I'm loving watching this unfold. And you enjoy your tuna salad for lunch. All right, everyone. Lots of love. I see you next week.
All right.
Okay. David,
Yes, mate.
is it all right if I stay on and just have a?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
All right.
Just a
Okay.
couple of.
Well, we'll see
Thanks,
you next
Damien.
week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thanks
Damien.
again.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, David.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry, just I don't want to keep you for too long. Just
Relax. It's fine. It's fine. I got 5 minutes.
good. Thanks for inviting me. It's a good session. Just a couple more questions that I thought of
Sure.
as we were talking. Is there any like course material, anything that gets sent out or anything that
Yes.
it comes through?
Yes. Did you get access to the platform?
To the platform.
Yeah. Just let me add you to the platform now. Okay, let's have a look here. Right, I'm just adding you. Don't worry, you don't have to know about this. Okay, so let's invite you. What's your email address?
It's my name, Jamile underscore,
Jamile
yeah,
underscore
underscore little,
Little
at yahoo.com.
at yahoo.com.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I'm going to add you to the community of practice group. Yep, and then I'll
Okay.
add
So,
you to the UACT group as well. Yeah. All right.
so is it material that's sort of there, or does it sort of come after the sessions,
So,
or?
so the materials there in PDF format,
Oh, okay.
and it hasn't been catered for visually impaired. So you can give us
It's what
guidance around that.
I'll find a way how
Yeah.
to zoom
Okay.
in.
Can you see my screen?
I can see some things up, but I can't see exactly what's
Okay. Okay. So there are documents that are on the screen that
okay.
will say the CPRC Certified Professional Recovery Coach Manual.
Okay.
Um, and then over on the left-hand side, there's something called journeys,
Yeah.
yeah, which will be automatically added to, and
Okay.
then it's in the blue. So the
Okay.
content's in the blue. So we've
Okay.
just started on the conversation, which is CPRC Module 1.
Okay.
Does that help when I make it bigger like that?
Yeah. That's a lot better. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, because with reading things, I have to like I usually use my iPad because it's easy to just zoom.
Zoom in. Okay, so you should be able to get the content on your iPad.
Yeah,
So,
I will be able to. Yeah.
so start here with the conversation. You click it, and then it tells you about the training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you just click at the bottom.
Okay.
But I promise you, don't stress about it.
Yeah.
It will all come together.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to know because it sometimes it's good to be able to like refer back to the
Yeah.
material as you're learning.
Yeah.
Um
And then there's videos as well, which will take you through the content. I'll
yeah,
take you uh, to the Recovery Connections YouTube channel.
okay.
Um, Let me see. Where is it now?
Oh, does all of the sessions put up onto YouTube?
Okay.
Are all the sessions uploaded onto YouTube or is it
Yeah,
just
the classrooms are. Yeah.
okay, okay,
And the content.
okay. And
Here.
is there I know you said earlier if you don't want it up on YouTube, you can request it to be deleted. Is that
Yep.
okay? Does that affect your? Because if I was to say, well, I don't want any of it uploaded, that isn't really
So we'll work around that. I'll get curious as to why and how we can navigate around that.
yeah.
Yeah, is that a thing?
No, I think it would more depend on what you know, what we're.
How did you do with today's class? Because I'm still streaming now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like today, I was quite personal. I don't mind sharing it with the group as we're in it, but I would prefer for that sort of
It's
personal stuff to be
it's
out
not
there.
public.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, it's not on the
It
public. Oh, okay, okay.
no, it goes to an unlisted link.
Oh, I get you. Okay, okay, okay. That's fine then. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. No, it's not like the BBC.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, that's it really, David. That's it really. I think I'm happy to enroll.
Great stuff.
I think I'm happy to enroll. Would I do it through the link that's on the
Yep.
uh,
So
website?
there's two links. There's a subscription link.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the certification link. I'll send them to you.
Yeah, send them to me and then I'll I'll enroll.
Great stuff.
It's good. Thank you very much again, David, for letting
No,
me
thank you.
for letting me
Welcome.
for letting me get a taster. And so I'll do that and I'll see you